Howdy. I gotta say, the worst recent upgrade. Oh God, I got hiccups. I'm sorry to everyone. I've got hiccups. I was actually thinking about delaying this for like 10 minutes so I could do something to get rid of these hiccups. But anyway, the most annoying recent upgrade of this YouTube live thing is, at least on my thing, is the way they do thumbnails. See, when I originally started doing these, I got my screen. I can see myself on my screen, right? And when you start doing a live, a little thing comes up and says, take a thumbnail. Oh, hiccups, man. And so you can push the button and take a thumbnail of the full screen, right? But recently, they changed it so that only like this much of the screen takes the thumbnail. So it's like you either have to go like 8 miles back to like try to, oh God, hiccups. Or you just have to put some tiny thing. That's why all my thumbnails for all the lives are stupid looking. Anyway, today I'm gonna try to fight through my hiccups, and I got a story to tell. So a few days ago, I went to town with my friend, and we had one mission. And the mission was to pick up a tank of resin, a couple rolls of fiberglass, a couple sheets of plywood, and pick up some food and some other little stuff too. And this is not small stuff. Like the rolls of fiberglass are like 100 or so pounds. The tank of resin is the heaviest thing. It's like 352 pounds, if I remember right. Anyway, it's somewhere around that, like 350, 400 pounds, somewhere in there. It's a heavy thing, right? So the fiberglass stuff is actually for my friend, but he doesn't have a big enough boat. So I was like, I'll go with you. So we went in my big boat, the Tiger Shark Slicer, which can easily handle that stuff, right? So we get up nice and early, and we drive there. We get to town, and he's telling me that the store he got it from told him to go to this spot and look for a little loading zone that's right by the water. So we drive up, and I'm like, I kind of know where that is. And so we drive up to this nice big concrete platform. It's got like a nice little deck in front. It'd be super easy to load everything. And we get up on the concrete platform and realize it's all gated in. And it does not belong to the store. This is private property, and it's now blocked off, and you can't use that. So we're like, okay, it's got to be right around here though, right? Right next to it is the store's loading zone, which is like some dirt pushed out, so the land is a little bit embiggened, so the land comes out into the ocean a little bit. But they did not make this anywhere near far enough, because where this stopped, and the tide was not super low at this point or anything. Like the tide was kind of average. The dirt stopped there, and then the water was like this deep, and it very gradually got deeper. And at the bottom, now if it was sand, it'd be okay. You could just drive up, beach your boat, fine, put your stuff on, you scrape your boat up on some sand a little, whatever, you're smoothing it out, sanding the bottom. No, it's rocks. Not even like gravel, like rocks the size of my fist or bigger. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, if I pull my boat into here, even if I somehow manage to crash it in to get close enough to this thing to load it, anytime a boat drives by behind us, it's just going to make waves and make my boat go up and down and crash on these rocks, right? Which is why nobody was parked at their horrible loading zone. And the funny thing is, right beside that, there was like another dock and some other stuff, and all kinds of people were coming and going there. But everyone was avoiding this spot for obvious reasons. It's just rocks. So I'm like, oh, dude, can you just call this store and like find out if there's a better place to get this stuff? So he calls the store, and the guy like hangs up on him. And I'm like, okay, let's go to the store, fine. So first I'm like, all right, we got to park somewhere else, because right now we're parked on someone's private property. I'm not going to leave the boat here. So we get the boat and we drive around to where I usually park, which is like all the way on the other side of town. Town's not that big, but whatever. We drive to the other side of town, and we're thinking about a few different places we could park the boat. And I'm trying to figure out where we can get this load of stuff delivered, right? So we go park, and I know that another store has this big concrete loading dock right near where we've now parked. And so we get out of the boat, go to the store, and the guy's like, oh, we can't deliver to that dock because that store, who is our competitor, told us to stop delivering stuff there. They said, make your own dock. And I was like, yeah, you guys did not do a good job of making your own dock because your dock is terrible. You can't park there. And so anyway, there's this whole thing going on. And we're trying to figure out where to get this stuff. And so we leave the store, and my friend's talking to the guy on text, and he's like, okay, how about this dock here? And the guy's like, no, we can't go there. And he's like, okay, how about this place on a Google map? I'll mark it. Here's a spot that has a dock where we can definitely park and definitely load. And the guy's like, no, that's not an official address. And we're just like, what do you mean official address? There are no addresses in Panama. You're just saying no because you don't feel like it, you know? So finally, I mean, this is after like an hour and a half has gone by of like trying to get these guys to deliver this thing somewhere we can actually get it. And eventually the guy's like, yeah, our delivery guy hasn't showed up in the morning either, so it doesn't even matter. But he got there in the afternoon. So we're like, so finally I'm like to my friend, okay, look, show me the map. This hotel at the edge of town, tell them to deliver it there. It's an enormous hotel. They'll know where it is. And my friend's like, okay, whatever, I trust you, man. So he says to them, okay, this hotel here, he sends them a map coordinate, tells them the name of the hotel, and the guy comes back and says, can you take a picture of it? Oh, he said, I thought these hiccups would be gone by now. Anyway, the guy's like, can you take a picture of it? And we're just like, what the? So we're like, okay, look, it's just down the street. We'll walk down there. We'll get a picture of this stupid place. And we'll kind of plan out what we're going to do. So we walk down the street to the hotel. I'm like, this is where they're going to come. And here's what's going to happen. If they can come here, you, my friend, will stand here ready for them. And your job is to get them to go down to the end of the street, like another 100 meters, and see how close you can get them to the beach. And I'm going to beach my boat. And then we're going to get the stuff on somehow, right? So we get there. My friend's taking a picture of the hotel. And finally, the guy's like, oh, okay, we don't need a picture. We know where that is. And it's like, of course you know where that is. It's a giant hotel in a tiny town. Everybody knows where this is. Anyway. So then the guy's like, all right, we'll be able to deliver it in 4 hours. And we're like, 4 hours? This is the only thing we have to do here. Like we are ready to go home. It's like a 4-hour trip for us to get home. And the guy's like, oh, all right, yeah. So 4 hours comes and goes. And at some point, we're just like, all right, let's just go get dinner. And at first, we didn't want to leave because we wanted to be ready when they called. But eventually, we're just like, let's just go get dinner. Let's go get dinner at a restaurant. Let's go to the Chinese place, which is way over there. And let's just have, chill out, have dinner. So we go over there and have some chop suey, and it's delicious and amazing. Sure enough, the whole time we're there, no nothing. So we leave there. Ooh, that was some delicious food. And then we're just walking around, and I'm like, well, I don't know, let's just walk around. I mean, eventually, finally, the guy gets a text. He's like, oh, they say they're coming. And I'm like, all right, I'll go get the boat. You go to the front of the hotel. You just wait for them. See how far you can get them to go down the street toward the beach. But wherever they'll do it, just get them to unload the stuff. We will figure out how to get it on the boat, right? Now, I picked this hotel because it's at the edge of town. And at the edge of town, after that, is nature. It's just like beach and grass, and there's a road that goes through there. But there's a big natural area, right? And what I've learned is that natural areas have a special feature that come with them. It's just built into the nature. So I go and get my boat. And I'm at the dock. I push my boat out and I'm backing up. I'm like, making sure I don't hit anything because this place is too crowded. So I start driving and I'm driving down the shore toward the beach and I see people, there's all these people swimming in there and stuff. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta not hit someone because they're like basically right where I have to go. But they was okay. I mean, they definitely noticed me, but I wasn't close enough that I was about to hit anyone or anything. So I drove my boat in, and now we got waves coming behind, and the waves are like, and I'm like surfing the waves into the beach, and these people are staring at me like, what is this crazy guy beaching his boat? In Spanish, of course, because they're not English-speaking people, they're Spanish people. Well, Panamanians. Anyway, so I drive my boat. I managed to keep it straight because, the waves coming from behind always want to turn the boat. But I'm like going full speed and just keeping it straight. So I get it straight into the beach and crash into the beach. And then I'm like beached on the sand. And then I get out, and now I'm on my cargo boat, the Tiger Shark Slicer. I have these two things called parking poles. Oh my God, parking poles are amazing. So I was about to get out and stick my parking poles. They're these long PVC poles that they're like attached to the side of the boat. I can pull a pin and shove them down into the ground, into the sand or whatever. But then I'm about to put them down because it like locks the boat in position. But I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm so much into the sand that I'm okay. So I didn't do the parking poles. I got out and I got on the front of the boat and I was like, in fact, I think I can even get a little bit further up. So we don't have to go so far into the water to get this stuff loaded. So I grabbed the boat and I'm pulling, and every time there's a wave, it lets me pull the boat a little further in. And I'm like, okay, not too far, because we still need to get the boat back out with like an extra whole bunch of weight on it, right? So I'm like, all right. So I get the boat there, and I leave the boat, and I'm backing up a little, and I'm like, okay, the boat's not moving. I should be okay for a couple minutes. I mean, eventually it's going to start turning sideways and blah, but it looks like it's fairly stable. So I run up to the beach and run down this little trail up to the road, and I look for my friend. I'm like, hey! And he's like, hey! And he's like, yeah, they're coming. And I'm like, man, I thought they'd be here by now because I just did all this stuff and they said they were coming, but they're slow, whatever. So I go back and check out the boat. I know these guys are coming, and I'm standing on the beach watching my boat, watching for them coming. Next thing I know, I see my friend there. He's walking along the road, and he's like, ah! So and the guys who were driving the truck, oh, it was so nice. They were nice guys. And they're like, yeah, we'll back right up to the beach. So they pull up to the road, go like this, and start backing down this little alleyway to where the beach is. And, they get close enough, and it's like, whoa, right there, that's good. Okay. So then I'm like, okay, let me get the plywood. Let's get the plywood on the boat quick. So I grab a sheet of plywood off the boat, and I run it over, get it on the boat, check the boat still straightened out. Okay, it's okay. Then I go back, and my friend's got the other plywood. I'm like, here, give me that, and go get the other stuff. And I get the other plywood on the boat. And then we get the 2 rolls of fiberglass on the boat. They're pretty heavy, but it's not a big deal. And, we just have to walk in ankle-deep water to get to the boat. And then there's the tank of resin. The tank of resin is like 352 pounds. It might even be a little more. I think that's what I remember it being, though. It's a heavy thing, right? And there's these 2 guys driving the truck. And there's me and my friend. And basically these truck guys, they're just responsible for getting it off the truck, basically. But they usually help, load and whatever. And they've got like some straps and stuff. And the tank of resin is on top of a pallet. And at first I'm like, I know exactly how to get this off this truck. But I'm the only one here who doesn't speak Spanish well enough to really, I don't know. Let me just see what these guys do. So these guys, I don't know, between my friend and these 2 truck drivers, they're like pulling the thing off and almost murdering us all. And at some point I'm like, okay, espérate, mira. And I'm like, wait, look at me. Here's what we're gonna do. In my crappy Spanish. Put the barrel on its side. We'll take the strap, attach one end to the truck, and then the other end of the strap is gonna go under the barrel and back up, and then I'm gonna hold that and I'll let it down. You guys just keep it straight. All you gotta do is keep it straight. I'll support the weight. So we get the strap under, And, because I know a little bit of physics, I know that if you attach a rope there and have the rope going under the barrel and back over, I only have to hold half the weight of the barrel because the other rope's holding the other half. But I have to move the rope twice as far. It's like gearing up or gearing down, depending on how you're looking at it. But anyway, it's like gearing up. So I can easily hold 180, 175, 180 pounds, right? Just by myself. So I'm up there on the truck. I got the rope. This thing's rolling down the side of the truck. And this is like it's like a delivery truck. The bed is pretty high. It's like way up there. But so we get the barrel, it's starting to roll off the side of the truck, and I'm holding the strap, just letting it go slowly, and I'm like lento, 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 which just means slow, slow, slow. So we let it slowly down till it gets to the ground. Okay. Now we just gotta roll it to the boat. And at first one of the guys is like, all right, we're gonna roll it way down this trail and then take it. And I'm like, no, just go straight to the boat. There's nothing hard in the way. We can run over all this stuff. There's just a bunch of coconuts and stuff. Just run over it with the barrel. Because it's just a big steel barrel. You just roll it. And I think you're not supposed to, they tell you not to roll these barrels of resin. And I don't know why they tell you that, but I always do. Anyway, so roll the barrel of resin, and I'm like, give me that barrel of resin. I'm just like driving it straight to the boat because it's already getting kind of late and I want to get out of here. And I'm like, can we borrow the strap? And the two truck guys are like, yeah, you can borrow the strap to get it on your boat. So we roll it over to the boat, and the waves are coming in, and we're just like, whatever. And we get it up next to the boat, and I'm like, previously I had confiscated a pallet from the side of the road that was just like in the garbage. So I had a pallet on my boat, so I had something to put it on that wasn't going to damage my boat or anything, right? And then a couple boards going off the side, and then it's just the drop on the side of the boat. So we just need to get this barrel up the edge of the boat, and roll it up these little boards, and get it on the pallet, right? So I'm like, let me tie the strap to the pallet on which I will stand, and then the other end of the rope, the same way as before, goes under the barrel, back up, and then I can pull on it, and you guys can, help just, push up a little, keep it straight. So we get it up there, and my friend and I are up on top pulling, but it's not that hard because we only have to lift half the weight. And the other two guys are down there being very helpful. Get it up on the boat, roll it up onto the pallet. I stick a piece of wood here, I stick a piece of wood there. The thing's locked in, and then wrap a rope around the whole thing. Return those guys strapped to them. They take off and have a marvelous day. And then my friend and I are like, okay, now the boat is stuck, because we just put like 500 more pounds on it, and it was already beached. So I was like, all right, I'll get on one pontoon, because it's a catamaran, like my cargo boat. And it's got one pontoon here, one pontoon there. I'm like, all right, I'll get on this pontoon, you get on that pontoon, and anytime a wave comes in, it's gonna lift the boat a bit, and we're gonna shove. So we're sitting there, then the waves start coming in. It's like, oh, okay, that didn't move at all. That wasn't a big enough wave. Another wave, wait. Okay, there's a big one. When that comes in, and the wave comes in, lifts the boat, we're like, we get like 2 feet. And it's like, okay, another wave's coming. Wait for a big one, All right, and at this point, they're like all the people who were swimming at the beach are like standing on the beach, like watching us. It reminded me of like when I was a little kid and we used to watch the garbage truck come by, like all the kids on our street would be sitting on the lawn just watching the garbage truck, and then we run to the next person's lawn and watch the garbage truck. It was kind of like that. So there's all these people on the beach watching us. One of the dads actually helped us get the barrel up on the boat, which was very, very kind of him, very nice. And anyway, every time a kind of big wave comes in, we'd run forward as hard as we could and get like, a couple more feet. And, we're slowly making progress. And then at some point it was like, all right, I think we're off enough that on the next wave, we're just going. And my friend's like, all right, next wave, we're going full blast. So we get another wave, and we're like, and then the boat's like not scraping anymore. We're like, all right. And I'm like, let's turn the boat around and get it aimed the right way. Now get on, go. And then we got on the boat and we started driving. And then we headed home, and everything was smooth sailing from there. A lot of girls were like, Ooh, nice boat. Well, we were leaving. I think it might have had something to do with my friend sitting on the front and with, I don't know, he was like having a snack sitting on this barrel like he was riding a horse. It made us look super fun. I need to have someone riding a horse on the front of my boat all the time. Anyway, then we got home and everything was good. Now, what is the moral of this story? Because there is one. It wasn't just a story. There's a moral of this story. Of course there's a moral of the story. The moral of the story, which I hinted at earlier, is that when you're in an artificial environment, you end up with artificial obstacles that may or may not get out of the way when you address them. But when you're in a natural environment, there are still obstacles. There are definitely still obstacles, but the obstacles make sense. So when we were in the artificial environment, when we were in town, anytime you're in a city or any place where everyone owns everything, there's no public anything, everything is owned by someone. Maybe that person is the city, maybe it's called public, but there's all these rules, right? And if you need something done and someone doesn't feel like cooperating, you can do whatever you need to do to get around whatever obstacle they put there, and they could just decide, it doesn't count. You got to do something else. I just don't feel like it. And it's like all artificial obstacles are just frustrating. They're so frustrating to deal with because it's like you got to jump through these hoops for no reason. It's like it doesn't make any sense, and and it's supposed to be more convenient, because there are roads everywhere and there's all this infrastructure and stuff. But if people just decide that this isn't going to be your day, it's just like the obstacles are impossible, right? But you get into a natural environment. Now, we went to the beach. There was no nice dock to pull up to. There was no loading thing. Nothing was set up, right? So there were obstacles. There were waves coming in, but it's like, okay, I can deal with the waves. Let me make sure the boat is really straight, so the waves coming up at the back of the boat aren't turning the boat. And if I see the boat starting to drift a little bit, I got to make sure it stays straight. Okay, can deal with that obstacle. And then, trying to park and just, okay, let's pull up into the sand, lock the boat in, and then trying to get out of there. Okay, we'll just have to push it and work with the waves. And now getting this barrel down, we just got to figure it out. And everything made sense. Like, we spent all day fighting and wrestling and just trying to get everything done in town in an artificial environment with artificial obstacles. And as soon as we got into a natural environment, as soon as that truck got past the edge of civilization into the natural environment, just everything started moving, And that's been the same experience I've had over and over. And sometimes people ask me, Jaimie, how do you got so much done? It's incredible. It's because I put myself in natural environments. I'm in a natural environment here. If I do hard work, things happen. If I don't do hard work, nothing happens. But if I live in a city, it doesn't matter how much harder work I do, because someone can just undo it because I didn't fill out the right form, or didn't pay the right thing, or didn't kiss the right person's butt, or just whatever, right? Natural environment, man. Natural environment is the place to be. And even when you're in a city, you can, like, this even affects things you can do within a city. So like the more of the artificial stuff you use, just the harder everything is, even though they say it's more convenient and blah, blah, blah. For example, I used to go to Hong Kong a lot, right? When I was working in the toy industry. I must have gone 30 times, maybe more than that. I don't know. I went to Hong Kong a lot. First time I went there, people said, okay, you get off the airport, then you get the taxi, tell them this. And I had all the instructions, and I was like, all right, let me throw that out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a map where the airport is and where this place is where I'm supposed to meet people. I'm supposed to meet people at this hotel. Where's the hotel? Let me draw a map on my hand and write in screwy Chinese that I'm terrible at writing, but I can write the characters well enough that I'm going to be able to recognize what it says. Plus, in Hong Kong, a lot of signs are in English, so that helped. But anyway, I wrote this little map, folded up piece of paper, put it in my pocket, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have internet or there's going to be any kind of maps, or I'm going to be able to ask anyone or whatever. I've got this map. It's just a simple thing. I can follow this map and get to where I'm going. And I always write multiple routes on a map when I'm going somewhere new, just in case some roadblock is there or who knows, right? So anyway, I get off the airplane, I look at my map, I'm like, okay, I gotta walk through here, and I walk a couple miles, get to the hotel, I'm like, okay. And everyone else takes a taxi. And over and over and over, when I was in Hong Kong, and this happened when we went to mainland China too, because I did the same thing. Over and over, people would say, all right, now we got to go to this place. Okay, let's get a taxi. And I would be like, dude, it is right there. Like, what do you mean it's right there? We drive like almost a mile to get there. I'm like, you drive almost a mile to get there because you're on the man-made roads that don't go wherever you want to go. This road has a barrier and you can't do a U-turn. So they have to drive like almost a mile to go around all this crap to go right there. And they're like, how do you even know that's there? And I'm like, because I walk. Because I don't use the artificial conveniences. I just get my feet out and I walked here from the airport and I saw all this stuff. And whenever I'm going somewhere, I walk and I see all this stuff. And I'm telling you, the place we're going to go is right there, right around the corner. We can walk there in about 30 seconds, or we can spend 5 minutes in a taxi. And I'm like, all right, fine, let's just walk there. And then we walk there and there it is. You know, just use your own common sense. Do what nature made us to do. You know, just do it. Just figure it out. And that stuff sometimes works. Like there's a limit to how much you can do that stuff within a city where there's rules and all this stuff. But man, when you're in nature, it's like whatever obstacles are there, you can just figure out. And it's so nice. Oh, it's so nice dealing with nature, especially after you've dealt with people. And I think this is like a huge part of why a lot of people like camping or hiking and stuff. It's like, yeah, like when you live in a city, you can spend all day like dealing with human beings at your job and just anything you're trying to do. And then it's like, I just got to get away from people and get to a place that makes sense. I talk pretty fast, Mojo. I do talk pretty fast. Oh, I'm a little worked up. All right, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about this, though. Yeah, nature. Nature's great. Okay, what's going on here? B says, hello, Jaimie. Mr. Landfill, hi. Oh, in case anyone doesn't know this, whenever I do these lives, I always give some kind of monologue at the beginning. Usually it's only like 10 or 15 minutes, but I clearly went off for like half an hour just now. Anyway, then I start going through comments, and when I catch up to comments, that's kind of when it's over, pretty much. So I'm always a little bit behind on comments. So if you say something, I won't get to it for a few minutes. Although there's a couple other things I should mention. So I want to have an adventure builder meeting this year, the week of May 3rd. May 3rd was a weekday. So like the weekend, the week, and the weekend. So it's like it's like a 10-day window when you can show up to this adventure builder meeting. And we're gonna hang out and do stuff, and yeah, I don't know. We're just gonna do stuff. I used to have these adventure builder meetings in Vermont every year, and May 3rd is my birthday, and the first one was on my birthday, and it just became tradition to do them the week of my birthday. And it's usually like, you know, the week of my birthday plus the two bookend weekends. I don't know how many people are coming. I know one person is coming for sure, and a couple people have said, yes, I'm coming. So I don't know who's going to show up or whatever. But yeah, the week of May 3rd, we're going to have some kind of hangout here, and I'll try to come up with some fun stuff to do. And, you know, I'm not sure what the accommodations are going to be, but be prepared for anything. But, you know, talk to me first so we can, you know, arrange whatever. What else is going on? I don't know, just stuff. Stuff is going on. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, Ark says, taking a break from making a pantry cabinet. Ooh, munching on some popcorn. Notice there's a live. That's live. It is live. I was working on my sailboat bulkheads, making new. That's what Sean says. That's awesome. Working on your sailboat bulkheads. Sweet. Joe says, Jaimie is so cool. Ah, shucks. I don't know, man. I might be cool for like nerds. I've always been a nerd. I feel like I'm a pretty cool nerd. I like me. I'm glad you like me too. Thanks, man. All right. His says, I just lost so badly at backgammon. Very exciting. Are you aware? Okay, Ark says, are you aware of the free language app Duolingo? I think it's fun and interesting. I do know of that, yeah. Interesting task to incorporate into my daily discipline. Slowly, I find myself learning Italian. It's similar to kindergarten. Well, I know about the Duolingo thing. I guess I've never particularly enjoyed learning languages with a thing, you know? When I learned Spanish, when I learned the most Spanish was when I just decided, all right, I'm gonna learn some freaking Spanish, and I parked my boat at this old guy's dock, and I would just talk to him. And he had nothing going on most of the time, so he was happy to have a visitor and to teach me some Spanish, and I would just sit there and talk with him for like 2 hours, just learning. I mean, at first it was just painfully slow, but you know, as I learned a little more, you know, we could have better conversations. I like learning much more that way. I'm kind of a throw me into the fire and I'll figure it out as I'm going kind of guy. But preparation is important, of course. It's good stuff. Randy, what's going on? Okay, does the resin barrel come with catalyzer? How big is that container? Okay, so a 55-gallon drum of resin, you know, it's like 55 gallons. It's like a big thing, right? I think it's like 3 feet tall and like 1.5 feet across, like 1 meter tall and 0.5 meter wide. And the catalyzer will be like a gallon jug, you know, like this basically, like a gallon. So the ratio of catalyzer to resin is 50 to 1. 50 resin to one hardener, Durante hardener. Funny, the delivery guys actually forgot the hardener, and once it's funny because I said to my friend, make sure they bring the hardener, because I've had several times when I had to remind them. He's like, oh, okay. So I don't know if he reminded them and they forgot anyway, but anyway, they didn't come with it. And when we got all the stuff on the boat, we were like, oh, we're not going back to the store right now. So he'll just pick it up next time he goes to town, because that's easy to get. You can just grab it, you know. But yeah, they totally forgot the hardener. So 50 to 1 hardener, no, 50 to 1 resin to hardener. A sand anchor might be a cool tool to make to winch the boat to and from land. They're usually used in an off-road winching context. It digs into the sand as pressure is applied. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never needed one. So, but yeah, I could see how that could be useful. The tricky thing with that is getting into the sand is easy. Like generally speaking, you don't have to do much to beach your boat. Like the waves behind you will push you in. Like you don't want to beach your boat more than the water would allow you to do it anyway. And getting out, it would be a lot harder to use a sand anchor getting out, because you'd have to like dive and thingy it, and then you gotta have it. Yeah. Let's see. How naturally occurring is resin? You don't need infrastructure to get your supplies. Oh, is this the Jaimie, you rely on industry, so don't be against blah 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 whatever. Fucking oh, it's the dumbest thing ever. How naturally occurring is resin? You know the answer to that. The polyester resin is not naturally occurring. Yes, the resin has to be made in a factory somewhere. Obviously, why? God, don't come at me with this stupid crap, okay? If you got something to say, just say it. Just say it, okay? Seriously, I'm not going to answer your stupid questions. Mojo says you talk pretty fast. Sometimes I do. Jazz says excellent, Jaimie. Mr. Landfill, fill the chat up quick so the live doesn't end too soon. Oh, Mr. Landfill, you're funny. Apparently, I was saying so much, no one had anything to say about it. Shinto saw rasps work amazingly well for sanding Bondo. Rips the material down to very nice sandable surface. Really? Shinto saw rasps. I've never had a Shinto saw rasps. But there's this little tiny moth flying around right here. Yeah. I don't have to kill it. Just go out the window. Here. All right, he might have gone out. Ooh, I got a question. Oh, wait, Jazz says there in spirit. Well, hopefully when I tell my stories, you're at least somewhat there in spirit. I try to make them immersive. Okay, question. Are the sail tracks still in the mast in your house? Have you thought of using them to help lift stuff? The sail tracks are, you want to see what he's talking about for anyone who doesn't know what he's talking about? Let's go over here. This might get pixely for a second because I'm moving around a lot. Okay, so this is a mast that goes up and holds up the temporary third floor. It will hold up the actual third floor. And right here, oh, look, I got like fake snowflakes. Anyway, right here, this is the thing he's talking about. Oh, there's my new railings. Very nice, eh? So it's like a track that, you know, stuff can go up and down. Unless he's talking about a different part. No, that's the only track on that mast. Yeah, there's nothing else going up there, right? Nope. I wasn't planning to use that for anything. I mean, maybe to hook stuff on, but yeah, I wasn't going to use it to elevator stuff up and down. I feel like it could come up with better ideas for that. Help lift stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, maybe though, we'll see. Thanks for the vent, Jamie. That's what we are here for. How are the kids doing? I'm not venting, I'm telling you a story. What the? Oh man, you gotta appreciate the story. I'm trying hard to make it entertaining. Anyway, how are the kids doing? The kids are great. Man, I love those little buggers. Yeah, it's like having kids is like having a troop of clowns in your house all the time, especially when they're little. Like my 3-year-old is just ridiculous and hilarious. And she has this silly smile that's just like, I don't know. It's like the cutest. It's like having the cutest little puppy. But yeah, my kids are doing great. I don't know. Nothing particular to talk about. A few of them were helping me dig today and move some dirt. That was great. Yeah, they're doing good. I would choose a power outage over having problem choosing cafe for a meeting or choosing a cafe for a meeting anyway. Real problems are so much more tangible and rewarding to solve. I would choose a power outage over having problem choosing cafe for a meeting. I used to work at a place where they just had endless meetings. And like nothing would happen in these meetings. Nothing would be solved. And I eventually was just like, I'm not going to any more meetings. Like, if you guys want to actually solve something, let me know. But if you're just going to go to this meeting and just for 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and then we all leave having lost part of our life, there's no point in that. Stop having these stupid meetings. Oh, God, just so much time is wasted. The funny thing about power outages is you don't get power outages in nature. Like, first, I mean, your power outage, I guess, would be when the sun goes down. But when you set stuff up, like, you know, I have my house here and everything. I'm on solar power. I'm on my own power thing. There is no power outage. Like, it just works. If there's a power outage, it's something I can fix. Like I don't know, like a wire is broken or something's broken, right? This is something I can fix. But yeah, if you're like in a city and have a power outage, you just have to sit there and wait till it gets fixed. When I used to live in Vermont, I lived right near a town, like a mile away from a town, and they had power outages all the time. I remember one time I was at home. I hadn't been anywhere other than at home for several days. And I went to town, and this was before I had internet at my house there. And I went to town, and I went to the library because I was going to look something up, check my email or something. I don't know. Upload a video maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I go into the library, and I go sit down and turn the computer on. And the lady's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I was going to go check out the internet. And she's like, "The power's been off for 3 days. Where have you been?" And then she remembered, "Oh, right. You live up on the mountain by yourself." where there is no power outage. And I was like, what? The power's been out for 3 days? Well, I'm going to go home and play some video games then. Anyway, there was also a big thing about in the winter, people would be freezing and I would be like so warm up in my place. Oh, let's see. How is the second floor going? Any one thing slowing you down? Well, the one thing slowing me down is just the boards drying. So, you know, you can see boards up here. Those are obviously, right up here, yeah. So those are obviously not finished. So there's all this space between them. They're not cut to fit or anything. They're just drying. So the longer I wait, the less they're going to shrink. Like while they're drying, they'll shrink. So the longer I wait to cut them and put them in place and, you know, screw them or nail them or whatever I'm going to do to attach them, the longer I wait, the less they're going to shrink and open up gaps between them. So if I wait long enough, I could put the boards next to each other and they'll actually stay there. I'm not sure how patient I'll be. We'll see. At some point, I'm just going to cut the boards and put them down. And if they shrink and open up gaps, I'll like leave one at the end and unscrew all the rest and like shove them over and retrim the edges, you know. But yeah, right now I'm just letting them dry. I'm pretty sure there are enough floorboards in my house to do the whole second floor. And I still have a lot of them in the jungle. I'm going to go get some more tomorrow. But yeah, I counted how much wood I needed for the joists. So these are the joists, right? The pieces going, it's like the frame of the floor, the joists. I counted how many I needed of those and made sure I cut a few extra. But when I started cutting the floorboards, I just made a lot. And, you know, I wanted to make sure I had enough, but I didn't count them. So I have a lot of extras. So I probably have a bunch of floorboards for the third floor already. Hopefully, I think. Yeah, I mean, I should have a lot because I've only, yeah. Of course, I'll find out how many I really have when I trim them and fit them in place. You know, we'll see. Yeah, second floor progress, yes. Jaimie, do you play the bass? I do not play the bass, but I would play a bass. I used to play the violin. And piano and trumpet. The floors are looking super cool. Thanks for sharing the project process and progress. I probably should get back to work. Have a great week. I hope you have fun, Ark. Good luck with your project. Jaimie is in a strange mood this evening. What? Yeah. My friend makes skis from natural epoxy. So yes, you can do it in a more friendly way. Get some rest, Jaimie. Why do I need rest? I don't need rest. I'm like super like, what do you mean? Why would you say get some rest when I'm like this energetic and hyped up? I guess you could think I'm this energetic and hyped up because I'm like tired and trying to keep myself awake. But no, I just have a lot of energy because a bunch of things have been going well, and you know, I've been eating good, sleeping good. Yeah. All right. Thus, in a Santa Cruz, California surfboard making shop, the quest for the natural resin surfboard might be born. Okay, Shinto saw rasp. You would recognize them if you saw a picture. Someone gave me one as a gift, and I didn't have much use for it until I tried it out on Bondo. Shinto saw rasp. Wait, let me just make sure. Shinto saw rasp. Yeah, I'm going to try to remember that. Look it up later. Okay, now I must go. Thanks for hosting the visit. Good luck. Catch you later, Ark. What kind of bridge are you planning on building to bisect the second floor? Well, I don't know. I guess that's where a lot of the extra floorboards can go. So what he's talking about is the second floor is up here, and it goes around in a circle around the outside of the house, right? And from here over is just a big empty hole. So let's see. Yeah. So this is the end of the floor, which goes over to the wall. So the wall to here, and that's where the railing is. And then there's a big empty space till you get like all the way, like way over there. and then that's the other floor. So there's a huge circle in the middle. And what I was talking about wanting to do is make like a walkway that goes right across the middle, like straight down the middle. And so that would be a bridge that he's talking about. And I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Probably just, yeah, I don't know. Probably solid though. I don't think I want to have anything that's hanging or bowed or anything like that, because I don't want people to hit their head on it or people on it to hit their head on the floor above. So it's got to go, just straight across at the same level as the floor to make sure there's good ceiling height and everything. I have pretty good ceiling height in here. Like I can reach up and touch the joists, the bottom of the joists. If I stand flat foot, I can barely touch it. And I like having lots of head space. I want lots of headroom. So it's probably just going to be some more joists going that way, maybe two really long ones and a bunch of joists going that way, and then some floorboards, probably. But I don't know. We'll see. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to get the floor done first. I didn't mean to disrespect. No problem, Don. You rock. Been impressed with your work for years. Thanks for all the effort. Well, you're very welcome. I think was that the resin question? I may have been reading into it more than you meant, because I sometimes get the criticism of, Jaimie, you don't like things that are going on to society, that are going on in society. Therefore, you can't use anything from society, or else you're a hypocrite. So that's not necessarily what you said, but I've heard that so many times. So I may have read that into your thing. And on that, it's a ridiculous criticism, because like seeing a problem in something doesn't mean you can't use anything to do with it. And like if we're in this society where if I'm in a civilization and I see lots of problems there, that doesn't mean I can't use anything from the civilization, because that would basically mean I can't do anything, because the civilization is everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. But seeing problems in things and thinking that things need to improve doesn't mean you're not participating anymore. This is a very American thing too. It's specifically American, where if you're in the United States of America, I'm trying to think if this happened in Canada too. Yeah, this happened in Canada, but like much more in the United States. If you give any criticism of the country, a lot of people's first reaction is, well, then leave, then you get out. If you don't think this is perfect, you can leave. And it's like, well, that's a really, really short-sighted, immature way to think about it. Because basically you're saying everything is perfect and nothing can be improved, which is idiotic. There's always things that can improve. No, it's very arrogant. Don't have that kind of arrogance, because it limits yourself. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, Don, totally cool. We're totally cool. Joe says, Jaimie is what happens when you unleash and harness raw ADHD energy. I wonder if I have. No, I definitely don't have ADHD. First, I don't have attention deficit. I actually have excellent focus, which is one of my best skills, actually. Probably my best skill is being able to focus on something. And that's like all the other skills I have come from like specifically my ability to focus on things. And I realized that many years ago when I was visiting a friend, and he was like, his dad was like, why does Jaimie know how to do everything? Why is he so good at all this stuff? And my friend was like, well, it's like, he just gets into something and just focuses on it, So it's like, it doesn't matter what it is. And then when he was saying that, I overheard and I was like, that dude is right. Because there's all kinds of stuff I don't know how to do, but then I start doing it and I just focus on it. And then it's like when you focus on something, you can figure stuff out. You can do do things that you could not do like 10 minutes ago. Like you can, when you really focus on something, it's a really good skill to have. Anyway, so attention deficit, I definitely don't have that. Hyperactivity disorder, I also definitely don't have that. Anytime I'm hyperactive, I don't consider it a disorder at all. In fact, I put quite a bit of effort into being more hyperactive. That's when I'm doing all this exercise. I'm like, come on, be more hyperactive, more. It's like I'm putting effort into trying to be more hyperactive. Anyway, but yeah, if I was stuck in an environment where I wasn't allowed to do things and like I was forced to focus on things I didn't care about, yeah, I could totally be labeled with ADHD, which happens to a lot of kids today, which is terrible. Let me crap on public schools a little bit. Hey, stick a kid in a school and tell them sit there and don't move for 8 hours. Like, what kid can do that? Any kid who can do that, they have a disorder. The kids who want to get up and do stuff and run around, those are the normal kids. So stop calling them ADHD and then injecting them with all kinds of stuff and giving them pills. And all right. I'm gonna move on here. Oh, let's see. Are you treating your boards with borax? I have not yet, but I've been thinking about it. So I have borax. I have like 4 boxes of borax. I also have one of those pump sprayers. So I'm going to mix up some solution of borax using fancy words like solution, and then I'm going to spray all the joists. I want to do it soon, like, because it will be really easy for me to, say, oh, everything's fine, I'll just do it later, and just keep putting it off. And then like a year and a half later, some termites find the wood, and it's like, oh, I should have done it. So yeah, I do need to do that pretty soon. Hello, Jaimie. Hello, everyone. Hello, David. What's going on, man? Okay, are there any music venues near you where could a visiting band play? There are lots of. The town I was describing earlier, where I went to pick up the resin and the fiberglass with my friend, that is a tourist town. So yeah, there's all kinds of places where bands play music and stuff. But I don't know that much about it. But yeah, like bars and resorts and all kinds of stuff. I see advertisements for it. I was imaging kids running across a rope bridge. I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah, having a rope bridge right across. I've definitely thought about that. Okay, but I think what I want to do, and this does not exclude the possibility of a rope bridge being anywhere else in those spaces, because there's going to be like a bridge going across the middle of the second floor with the circle around the outside, which leaves 2 big open areas. And there could be a rope bridge from the middle to the side on either side or both sides. Anyway, so what I'm thinking is there's going to be a wood floor that goes right through, like a normal wood floor with joists and everything, like basically the same as the rest. And I think at least one of my kids is going to want to have a room out there in the middle. So there's probably going to be a room there. You'll have to be able to go around the side of it, but yeah. And if one of my kids doesn't want a room there, I'll make like some arts and crafts room or something, or maybe that'll be the Lego zone. I don't know. It's going to be like a floor where it's not just for running through. But yeah, there's probably going to be some kind of rope bridges too. And if I did a rope bridge from that to the side, it would be a short enough distance that it wouldn't sag enough that anyone would be hitting their head. Although I do jump roping. If I'm doing jump rope down here, I need to make sure I have good headroom. I don't know. This is all stuff to figure out later. But yeah, kids running across rope bridges is pretty sweet. Best wishes from Minnesota. Keep living the dream. Well, thanks, man. Hey, Jaimie, glad to catch you live. Okay, BK broiler. Oh, man, I could go for a burger right now. I have 2 steaks in a pan sitting right there that I just cooked. Well, now I guess I cooked them 55 minutes ago. And then a thing of squash soup that I'm also going to eat. Anyway, BK Broiler, what's it saying? The house is looking great. Were you able to seal up the roof with your dragon tiles? I have not finished the dragon scales on the roof yet. I haven't worked on them in like a year. So like all the area around, like where the second floor is going, that's all protected. There's no drips around the outside. There's a few drips in the middle of the house. Yeah, at some point I'll get to it. It's not anything urgent though, because there's like a drip over there, like one over there, and you know, nothing significant, nothing urgent. But yes, I do need to get that. I also want to whitewash the roof tiles, and a few people mentioned that I could just go to the hardware store and get some. Not when you live in Central America. So I'm probably going to import some, you know, type S. What's it? Type S hydrated lime from like a Home Depot in the States or something. I might do the whole house actually. Best wishes from Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Dragon Tiles, yeah. Was my daughter's third birthday. Oh, it was my daughter's third birthday today. 3-year-old girls are so funny, aren't they? It's so hilarious having like like little kids. My son is 6. I'm 49, probably similar to Jaimie's age. I am 48. So you're one level ahead of me. I gotta get some more experience and level up. Yeah, it's pretty awesome having little kids around. They're so funny. Like earlier today, I was here and my 3-year-old was just sitting at the table. I don't even know what she was doing. Oh, she was eating popcorn. And she just looked, I was just like, you are so adorable. Do you know how adorable you are? And she's just sitting there staring at me with a smile, just eating her popcorn. It's pretty funny. Of course, yesterday, she spent an hour screaming, which was not as cute. Like she just had feelings. She's like had a lot of feelings and didn't know what to do with them. So she screamed for like an hour. And then at the end of it, she was totally fine. It's kind of crazy. The storal of the Mori, the moral of the story. Did I say the storal of the Mori? I don't even know if I did. Basically, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. A swing across the gallery before the bridge could be cool but of course dangerous. Yes, so the major reason that I may not put the bridge right across the middle of the second floor is because I could put a swing like right in the middle of the second floor that attaches all the way up to the third floor. And that would be like the bottom of the third floor. And that would be like a major swing. That would be pretty sweet. So I'm gonna have to decide what's better. Like this super swing that would be like pretty awesome in the middle of the house. My kids love swings, and I think I would like swings too. I don't know. I would probably just want to run full speed, jump on the swing, and swing up to the second floor and jump off. I think that would be pretty fun. Anyway, I gotta figure out what's gonna be better. A swing, a really cool swing, or a walkway. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to make that decision when I get to it. And yes, the love it or leave it mentality. Oh, yes. When people tell you if you have any problem with something, you just have to go away. Yeah. No, don't fix the problems. Just say it's perfect or you leave. Like never try to actually fix anything. That doesn't make any sense. My son Joseph and I hiked up to your old place in Vermont. Still in great shape and very interesting. Wow, that's excellent. Yeah, people ask me about that place once in a while, and I'm always like, I have no idea what's going on there. And I made a conscious decision to not keep up with what was going on there, because like I put my heart and soul into that place. I don't want to know what happens after I leave it. So when I left, I just really like totally left. But I'm glad it's still standing. A rope bridge could be on the 3rd level. No, it will not be. I mean, it could be. On the 3rd level, 2 stairs up and offset to the bridge below. Do not intersect if it hangs low, or is that the solid floor? So the 3rd floor is going to be the solid floor. Now, last week we had a discussion about the numbering of floors. And I was thinking about it. And if you're going to say the first floor, I think this is the first floor. Like the 0 floor, because like the first one is the first one, is the beginning. Now, if you're going to say floor number 1, I could buy that being the floor up there, like ground floor, which is 0, floor number 1. But the first floor, your first year of life is not after you turn 1. It's from 0 to 1. So the first floor would be from down there on the ground up to 1. The first floor. So it totally makes sense that, yeah, I was saying last week that I could buy either way, but no, if we're going to call them first floor, the first floor is the ground floor to floor number 1, ceiling number 1. The second floor is the second one. But if you're going to name them floor number 1, I could buy that being floor number 1 and that being floor number 0. So anyway, the first floor for me is the space between the ground and the first ceiling. The first floor is like all the living stuff. The second floor is that space up there. That's the running track around. There's going to be a bunch of rooms up there, kind of like smallish rooms though, because I got to keep the running lane open. And then the third floor, which is actually going to be 2 stories tall, because I'm not going to put in a 4th floor. The third floor is going to be gymnasium, solid floor all the way across. I think I'm even going to make it so that when you go up the stairs, there's a hatch on top of the stairs. So when you go up there, you can close the hatch. So you actually have like a full, like 40-foot, what's that, like 13-meter diameter circle of just solid floor with a huge high ceiling. And, you know, you can do all your acrobatics and basketball and I don't know. That's going to be pretty exciting when I get up there. Okay. Hey, Jaimie. Hope all is well. Well, I can't say all is well because there's always problems. But yeah, things are going generally pretty good. Hope all is well. Love the second floor. It looks great so far. Are you still doing the bridge? Yeah, I think I'm. Well, I just mentioned I'm not totally sure. I'm going to have to decide if the bridge or the swing is more important. I think I'm leaning toward a bridge. I think that's going to be pretty sweet. And I could put a swing over on the side over here. I don't know. I could also put swings outside. And yeah, out in the jungle, there are like super high trees. I could attach a swing so high up that you could, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Wait, what was the question? Yeah, I think I'm doing the bridge. Okay, the drawing boards upstairs would make good storage area so you can clear out the main floor a bit. Wow, I don't want to like take all this stuff from down here and just put them up there because I'm going to have to bring it back down anyway to make the floor. So I might as well just, like all the crap that I have stored down here, it's in okay spots, you know? And yeah, it's fine the way it is. It's not ideal, but I think I'm just going to leave it and not. It's just going to be like extra work to move it and move it again. Besides, it's going to, if I start putting stuff on the boards, it's going to slow down the drying process. I got to keep air spaces between everything, and I want to keep it open up there and let everything dry. Although there's a little bit of stuff that's up there. A net would be cool. That is true. Chris votes for a walkway. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a walkway. And a net would be cool up there, so you could just kind of hang out and go across. But I do really want to have a lot of open space. So there is like a 16-foot ceiling, like a 5-meter ceiling above your head in a lot of the areas, because I like that space. Like right now in the kitchen under the second floor, you know, it's a little bit cavey and like kind of cozy. But you go out there, it's just like, it's just this big, it's like a cathedral, you know. It's pretty cool. Any chance of a new trampoline in the center? Absolutely. Yes. 100% yes. And I'm not sure what trampoline I'm going to get, but I want to get a pretty good trampoline because I want to have it for a long time, and I want it to be a good one that you can bounce like a. There's going to be a gymnasium up there, right? With a huge high ceiling. Trampoline, definitely. 100% trampoline. Although it will not be built into the floor this time. But it also doesn't need to be built on the floor because the ceiling is so high. So it can just be a normal trampoline on the ground and you can jump. But yes, I want to get a nice trampoline. Would your roof structure support a rope swing 360 degrees? Like a rope swing on the outside or the inside? On the inside, yes. Because there's like a steel, like a big steel frame up on the inside of the roof that I can hang things on. I built the masonry dome roof. And then I was like, wait a minute, I might want to attach things up there. And I don't want to attach any, like drill holes through the roof. So after I built the roof, I built this steel pipe frame under it. At which point I thought, man, it would have been really nice to have that steel frame when I was building the roof. But I wasn't sure what I was going to end up doing. So whatever, it was fine. The ropes of the swing could be your lighting fixture too with LEDs. In my Swedish eyes, it is ground floor, then 1, 2. See, I can buy that. Floor number 1, floor number 2. But the first floor, that's got to be the ground to number 1. And the second floor would be 1 to 2, right? So as long as I'm saying first and second, I gotta stick with what I'm going. But floor number 1, floor number 2, yeah, that totally makes sense. And then ground floor, yeah. Frederick, what's going on, man? Oh, hi there. Jaimie, what a gripping title, today's live. Ooh, is that a gripping title? I don't know what titles I should be using. I keep getting messages that I need to do better SEO, search engine optimization, which means choosing better titles, writing more keywords in the description, and blah, blah, blah. Or else my videos won't show up, and I'm just like, I don't know. I have too much to do. Okay. Guess I'm very late today. It's about 00 hours, that would be midnight. Was enjoying a movie night with my woman. That sounds amazing. I often speak about and share your videos with her. Well, that's great. I hope she enjoys them. Oh, I hope this isn't one of those situations where you show her my videos and she's like, that's nice, dear. I really appreciate that. Okay, let's go do something else. Oh, and she's intrigued. Oh, beautiful. We often talk about visiting Panama one day. Dude, we're having an adventure builder meeting May 3rd this year and next year, and hopefully, all kinds of years after that. I will have to rewatch this from the beginning. Wait. You typoed. The beginning. I will have to rewatch this from the beginning. Good work. During the week. Much love, dude. Your kids are truly adorable because you're an amazing parent. Well, thanks, man. I do try to do a good job. Can't say I always get it right, but yeah. Tomatoes, where have you been? Where have you been all my month? How's it going, Tomatoes? Good to see you. Okay. Wendy says, how long are you going to let the boards dry? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Until I get impatient, basically. I have some other stuff I can do. I'm working on this campground I'm making in the jungle. I still have all those boards in the jungle to drag over here to put up there, and the sooner I can do that, the sooner they'll dry. Although it's supposed to be dry weather for a while right now, so they're not getting wet or anything. And yeah, basically the campground and a few other things around here. Like I have other things I can do to keep myself occupied. But at some point I'm just gonna be like, that's it. I gotta make the floor, because it is gonna be pretty awesome. So I don't know. We'll see. I live in Essex County. Oh no, I've been on too long, talking too long. I live in Essex County, Massachusetts. I used to live in Massachusetts. I remember Essex County. I don't remember where it was exactly. Anyway, yep. First floor is the ground floor, and the second story is the second floor, because the first floor is below the second. LOL, and I have a cellar too. Tomaters, what's up? Okay, are you planning the kid corral upstairs or down? And how soon? What's the kid corral? Where is your kid safe zone? I gated the loft for mine. Oh, my kid safe zone. What I do is I tell my kids what is safe and what is not safe. Like that's how I do my kid safe zones. Now, occasionally, like when they're really, really young, I'll block off something. But like as soon as I can, I want to let them go. Like I want to make it so they can get anywhere, but I'm teaching them where they can go and what's safe and what's not safe. And all my kids at this point, I would love to have more kids, but I don't have any in the immediate future going. I'd have to meet someone first. But anyway, all my current kids, even my 3-year-old, they are all past the age where I need to block anything off. Like I keep an eye on them, and the older ones know to keep an eye on the younger ones, but the 3-year-old is the only one who doesn't know how to swim. So, well, I think she can swim. She's like right on the edge, but she cannot go near the ocean by herself. And she also can't go upstairs by herself. And there's like a bridge that I tell her she can only go across the bridge with me or one of the older kids. And yeah, so I don't have any kind of gated off safety zones. I just tell them this is safe, you can go here, you can't go here. And of course, if you have kids, you know that you can't just say this is not safe, don't go here. Like you have to say that, and then you have to make sure you enforce it a bunch of times until they learn, and then you can start relaxing and whatever. Sean, what's going on, man? Mr. Landfill Yahoo. Okay. Are you anywhere near the Darien Gap? I'm at the opposite end of the country. So the Darien Gap is at the southern end of the country. Or I guess, wait, the country is like, it's kind of east-west. And I'm at the west end. Oh, I've looked at a map. Yeah, I'm at the west end, and the east end is where the Darien Gap is. And that's where the Panama Canal is. And then you get into Colombia and all that stuff. But I'm at the Costa Rica end. So I could actually take my boat and go to Costa Rica. It's not that far. I'm pretty close to the border. About the boards drying, I think I heard somewhere that when wood is wet and you hit 2 logs together, they thump. When they're dry, they ring. So that's your cue. I see. Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'd call it ringing, but I do know the sound you're talking about. Yeah, when they're wet, it's like a dull thud, and when the boards are dry, it's more crisp, like kind of like ringing, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could call it ringing. Yeah, totally. I know what you're talking about. Wendy, I'd suggest using the upstairs as storage and set the main floor for living with active project stations, at least for now. No, I don't want to. I don't want to change the storage and move everything around. Yeah, I mean the second floor is gonna happen pretty soon. I also have to build the stairs to get to the second floor, so that's gonna take, I don't know, a day or two or something. I think I know where they're going. Yeah, like I have things I can do while the boards are drying. I totally have plenty to do, and yeah, there's space down here. I don't want to give myself like an extra couple days of work of moving everything upstairs and then back down. Just because I have a lot to do already. Oh, look, we're at the end of comments. Mr. Landfill, your plan has failed. We only made it to an hour and 15 minutes. No, your plan was great. It probably would have only been like less than an hour. Anyway, I'm at the end of comments now. If anyone has any last minute questions before I go eat my tasty dinner of steak and squash soup, let me know. What is Jazz One on? Anyway, you guys all have funny names. Be safe, everyone, Mr. Landfill says. Give Mr. Landfill a thumbs up and a like. because he's a likable guy. All right. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here. And it looks like there are no... Oh, wait, we got another question here. You going to put motor on those kayaks? Oh, yeah. Well, before I go, let me show you my kayak models. Hold on. Let me just grab them real quick. So in my most recent video, I think it was the last one I uploaded, I was making some cardboard kayaks that will be made out of plywood. So I cut out, proportional plywood sheets out of cardboard and then made some kayaks. And this is the last one that the lighting is not very good for this right now. This is the last one I made in that video. And people were concerned that it wasn't flat enough in the middle. But it's kind of hard to see. It is pretty flat in the middle, but it's kind of hard to see on camera. Let's get it lined up just right. Anyway, but this is the last model I made. I did actually make it a little flatter, if I can. Yeah, a little flatter. Because, the flatter it is at the bottom, the more stable it'll be. Anyway, I think this is the final model of the kayak that I'm going to build with the plywood. And once I build one with the plywood, then I'm going to cover it with wax, make fiberglass molds of it, and then I can make kayaks, like pretty nice kayaks. I think they're nice. I'll have to sand it all real nice and everything before I do it. Wait, what was the question? You're going to put motors on those kayaks. I actually have a motor, a kayak motor I made. I made a video of that years ago. I still have it. It runs on like DeWalt batteries. I made a little, thing that the DeWalt batteries fit on because I have a bunch. Yeah, I haven't used that motor in a while, but it's over there. It totally works. Oh, you seem worried about the little one upstairs. Is that why? Oh, that is why I wondered. Yeah, I just tell her not to go upstairs. And then she listens. But the only reason I am concerned at all about the 3-year-old being upstairs is because there's all these floorboards missing right now. There's a big hole right here. But when I actually make the floor, there'll be no holes up there. Plus, there's going to be railings. Yeah, it'll be pretty safe. She can go upstairs and downstairs. Now, if I get another baby, then I'm going to have to make, I don't know, some kind of gated area to lock in a baby. Great listening to you. Well, thanks, Dave. Davey Concrete. I bet you're an expert concrete guy with a name like that. You only have the kids half time, so adapting too much might not be as worth it. You're awesome, Jaimie. Thanks again. Google Earth has blah, blah, blah. Looking good. Oh, yeah. I watched your most recent kayak video, and I think I'm going to copy your efficient use of 1-sheet kayak build. 2 sheets. Don't forget, 2 sheets. 2 sheets of plywood someday. Very streamlined and stable shape. Yeah, 2 sheets of plywood. And then I'm going to need a few more little pieces of wood just to do the cockpit area, but pretty much 2 pieces of plywood. Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, one of the reasons I show it is because I am totally happy for anyone else to copy it, copy it, modify it, whatever, I like to share information. I see you painted the kayak model. Yes, I did. And then once I painted one, I had to paint the other one so I could kind of tell which one I liked more. This one is pretty sweet. It's got some really cool lines, but I think it's going to be, yeah, I think this one's going to be it. Anyway, all right. I can see your Sky Beer machine in the background. Yeah, that's right there. I have to fill it up soon. I just have two gallon jugs for this, and when that one starts getting low, I'll make sure I have another one ready. Let's see. It is difficult when both parents are in the zoo with the wild child beasts. Is it difficult? When you have two parents, it's easier, right? Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go have dinner, and everyone have a marvelous morning or evening or whatever you've got in this crazy world. And keep fighting the good fight wherever you've got to fight, and whenever you don't need to fight, don't fight. Have a nice meal and day. I will do my best. Okay, I'm getting out of here.